from Iowa is recognized for 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I thank the esteemed chair of the Judiciary Committee for yielding time to me, and I appreciate bringing this issue to the floor. I would announce, Mr. Speaker, that this is a subject matter, the full 100% repeal of Obamacare, that I have worked on now for over 2 years on the repeal. When we saw this pass, it passed the House for the first time on November 7th, 2009. And that was a long and difficult day here in this House of Representatives, and it came back through for a final passage by legislative shenanigan, by packaging up the reconciliation along with an earlier piece that went through over the requiring the 60-vote filibuster-proof majority that took place for a time in the Senate, and came to this House under unprecedented terms, Mr. Speaker. And we saw the American people rise up. They didn't just jam this Capitol. It wasn't just 10,000 plus or tens of thousands of people that came here to say, keep your hands off of our individual American freedom and liberty and health care. It was tens of thousands of people that came here that said, let's respect the Constitution, let's respect fiscal responsibility, let's respect individual rights, and let's respect the American people. Well, through that period of time, last 2+ years, and a night I couldn't sleep after this finally passed on about March 21st or so, 2+ years ago, I got up and wrote a repeal. And that language for that is in this bill, most of it intact. I'm glad we're at this point, Mr. Speaker, because it says that this House of Representatives has reflected the will of the American people. They reflected the will of the American people in the elections a year ago last November, when we saw 87 new freshman Republicans come here to this House of Representatives, and every single one of them ran on the full 100% repeal of Obamacare. Every single one of them voted for the full 100% repeal of Obamacare, and every single Republican senator, 47 of them, voted for the full 100% repeal of Obamacare. And, Mr. Speaker, the next step is this next November, when I believe there will be a change-out in the United States Senate that reflects what happened here in the House, so that the full will of the American people can be worked in this body that's to be responsive to the American people. And while that's gone on, this terminology that began the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act, always understood to be Obamacare, referred to himself as Obamacare by President Obama on February 25th in the Blair House in the health care discussion that took place when the President interrupted Republicans 72 times. Not that that's an issue, Mr. Speaker, but just for the record. He referred to it as Obamacare. Many of the Democrats have believed that it's pejorative. So they changed the name of it because nobody knew what the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act was. They changed it to the Affordable Care Act. Well, we know it is the Unaffordable Care Act. It's a couple of $1 trillion stacked on this heavy burden the American taxpayers have today of nearly $16 trillion altogether. It's the Unaffordable Care Act, and in fact what it does is it reduces care. And it reduces American freedom and liberty. And when you think about the American people, how distinct and unique it is to be an American. What makes us different? We come from a lot of the planet. We have the vigor of the American people here, and it's totally unsuitable to be saddled by this unconstitutional takings of American liberty. And I thank the Speaker, and I yield back.
Gentlemen.